and let's step on it in first gear and see what happens. Just watch the rear end. A couple weeks back, I actually made a video where I talked about the top 5 things I dislike about my Genesis Coupe and mentioned that I do a follow-up video where I talk about the top 5 things I like about this car. Obviously, I like this car more than I dislike it, and that's the only reason why I still have the car. If I hated it, I would have sold it by now. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. The 5th thing about my Genesis Coupe that I really like has to be the way it looks. I think it looks very sleek and elegant all at the same time, and also has its practicality aspect associated with it while encompassing everything else. I think Hyundai's done a fantastic job in differentiating this car from everything else in this lineup. In fact, I get people on the regular asking me what kind of car this is. People are very curious and they mistake it for a lot of different cars, the most common one being an Aston Martin. I'm not sure why I don't see the similarities between a Vantage or a DB9 or whatever the case may be, but the only thing I can think of is the winged emblems in the back throw people off and they think it's an Aston Martin, which is great. I mean, the car is nowhere close to the stature that the Aston Martin carries, yet people mistaken it for that. So that's hitting the park for sure on Hyundai's part. The 4th thing I really love about this car has to be the warranty associated with it. This car has a 10-year manufacturer's warranty in the United States, which covers 5 years of bumper-to-bumper and then 5 years of major components, while in Canada the car has a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty. This car is completely ahead of anything else in its competition, and I think Hyundai's probably doing this until they establish a foothold in the market, at which point they'll draw back to become more in line with the competitors. But for now, the fact that it has a 10-year warranty is just phenomenal. As a car enthusiast, I'd rather spend my hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars on mod money rather than replacing a transmission or a CV axle or engine mounts or whatever the case is. I'd rather just not have to worry about that, have that covered under warranty, and then use that money to just spend on mods. The 3rd thing I really like about this car is the turbo noises that it produces. It has amazing whooshy noises, amazing flutter sounds, and all types of turbo noises associated with it when you get on the gas, get off the gas, or even driving around in town. For example, I'll put the mic just closer to the engine bay and let you guys hear what it sounds like for yourself. I hope some of the sounds that I was talking about came across in that little short clip that I've put there. If not, you guys are going to just have to take my word until you get a chance to sit in one or drive one for yourself. Just to give you guys a little point of reference, I have a K&N short ram Typhoon intake on it as well as a blow-off valve. So some of those noises are just slightly amplified, but even stock, it actually made some really good turbo noises. It's just slightly louder now that I put those 2 modifications on the vehicle. The 2nd thing I really like about this car has to be the way it handles. Words like tossable or agile really come to mind when I think about this car, in the sense that there's no body roll when you throw it in a corner, or you can throw it in a corner and carry quite a lot of speed. Similar to a Miata, obviously not quite the same level. You're carrying probably 1,000 pounds more weight here than you would in a Miata, but very similar in that regard. It's very, very nimble, and I really, really like that about the car. If you guys want to, take a look at what it looks like around bends, take a look at some of my POV videos. I made one POV video where I drive on one of my favorite private Mexican roads, and you can see what it looks like around those corners, and that road is just beautiful, full of tight corners, and just take a look and see for yourself. And finally, the number one thing I love about my Genesis Coupe has to be the drivetrain in it. I love the fact that it's rear-wheel drive, which enables you to have a lot of fun with the car, enjoy the playfulness that comes along with a rear-wheel drive car. I've included a couple clips here for you guys to take a look and, see what it looks like. So as you guys saw by the clips I've thrown in there, it's obviously very, very fun to play around with this car, both in the dry and the wet and the snow as well. To give you guys a live demonstration, I've come to this road here and I've slowed down to nothing and just wanted to show you guys how fun the rear end of this car actually is. So without further ado, let's step on it in first gear and see what happens. Just watch the rear end. So here we go. It's just sliding right now. You can see just how fun this car actually is. It's incredible. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button and share it with your friends. I'm really trying hard to grow the channel, and I'd really appreciate that. Take care. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.